I thought we had a good day of work out there. I think I could see that from the execution that it was good to have that extra day on Sunday. I think that definitely helped us. Questions?
You do anything to crank up the noise or anything to prepare for that?
Not today. We'll put that in tomorrow. Third down for sure. We would anticipate that. First and second down really depends on where. I've been in some environments where first and second down you need it. I've been in others where it's been really deafening on third down, but first and second down has been okay. You talk to guys like Ralph, who coached in the NFL, and they say, hey, you play in Kansas City and in that pro stadium, and you pretty much need it every down.
Kyle, because of some of the unique responsibilities of center, is it one of the harder positions for the backup to step in if the team can't go this week?
There are other challenges involved. Because it's not just a matter of stepping in and doing your job. It's stepping in and working with the guards that are on either side of you, making sure you're working with the center, with the quarterback who's behind you. So, yeah, there's a little bit more involved to it. So I would say maybe a little harder. I don't know if it's harder or not, but it's more involved. There's more things you have to do.
Kyle, what are you seeing at center so far with Sunday's tape and then just the naked eye today?
Pleased. Yeah, I was pleased with the operation. The first thing you look for is are we getting the exchanges correctly? Are the shotgun snaps coming back well? And I thought from an operation standpoint it was good. Neither guy was perfect. I didn't expect them to be perfect, but the first day, the full first and second down game plan goes in. There's a lot of stuff to think about. So, I thought both guys did a good job today.
How much experience does Muller have doing that?
Only in practice. Yeah, no game experience from what I know of. I don't remember in high school him playing any center, but played quite a bit of it now in practice for us.
How's Dorian fared going in at guard?
Dorian's done a good job. One of the reasons we're contemplating putting Chris in there is because of how we feel about Dorian. I think Dorian's really progressed very well this season.
Kyle, Ohio State's co-defense coordinator was at Arkansas last year. What parallels at all do you see between the two teams, or does just Ohio State set defense?
Coach Ash is excellent football coach. I think he was at Wisconsin before that.
Yep.
with Coach Bielema. He does a really good job. It was a great challenge for us last year. You definitely see some aspects of what they did at Arkansas in this defensive system, and then some other things that we didn't see. So, I think for us, we have to be ready for both of them. Have to be ready for all of it. I don't know that it's that different, but you definitely can see the similarities, and you can definitely see the level of play at a high level.
Kyle, how much have you seen Darius kind of take that next step to being a three-down guy and just probably more of a complete player?
Probably the biggest difference from last year to this year is his ability to do that. And, in an age of specialization in all sports and even within the teams themselves, there's not a lot of three-down defensive linemen that you see out there. But he's definitely one of them, and they've got one too in that Bosa kid.
Because of their ability to use their feet, are any similarities between Gardner and Barrett, style-wise?
Gardner's a bigger guy. Style-wise, that's a good question. I think the offenses are different, so that from a style standpoint, I don't know if there's a lot of schematic similarities. What they asked them to do is a little bit different. What I would tell you the similarity is given the opportunity, both guys can really hurt you with their feet, and I think you have to account for them. You have to account for them in the run game, and you have to account for them when you're rushing the passer too, because if you don't have somebody designated for him, if he gets loose, it's going to be a big play.
I don't know how much you saw them with Braxton Miller, but do they look different than, did they have to change a lot when Barrett went in, or does it look like a similar team?
We haven't spent a lot of time looking at them when Braxton was in there. We spent most of our time looking at them with the new quarterback. I think that's probably a better indicator for us of the direction they're going.
You keep the same routine walking into a stadium like that with that type of tradition, with that type of environment. You try to still keep the same game day routine, or you try to get there a little earlier, try to get the feel? Exactly
the same routine. The routine started today. I show them a picture of the stadium because other than that, we don't go there until game day. Some teams go there on Fridays when they're on the road. We've never done that. I don't think that's necessary. Again, we've been fortunate to play in some great venues, and this certainly is a great venue for college football, and it'll be a great game day atmosphere. But in terms of the logistics of going to the stadium and playing, I think the field will be the same size.
You were saying yesterday how, like, with play calls, you kind of have the final word. Just can you take us through that a little bit more? Like, if a call comes through, you don't like, how quickly do you have to change that? Just how the mechanics?
Quickly. Yeah, you don't have a lot of time. No, I think those decisions have to get made during the week. When you're in meetings during the week and you're going over what the game plan is and what's going to get called in certain situations, I think, my experience has always been most of the game is called before the game.
Because the situation where I think it was like a 3rd and 2 at Navy, and you said they weren't getting it, you knew you were going to kick the field goal. I mean, so you, Ralph, you're already on the same page, like you said?
Yeah, there has to be a communication process, and I think as the head coach, you also gotta give the play callers enough time to really get in what they want is as the best call. So if it's a situation where we're gonna have 4 downs, you gotta get it to them early, or else because that could change their 3rd down call.
Time for 2 more.
Kyle, you mentioned yesterday that their offensive line is the best you guys have seen in the last 2 years. They've got 4 new starters up there this year. Is that just coaching? What do you think's making them so successful?
I have a tremendous amount of respect for Ed Warner. I think he's one of the best in the business. He's done a great job for a long time at a lot of different places. Somebody that I studied when I was an offensive line coach, and I think he's done an excellent job. They've got good players. They've got talented players, and I think they're very well coached. And when you see those guys play in the last couple of games here, the last 3 games, you can really see a difference from earlier in the year.
For a guy like Trezilli to come in, obviously have to get up to speed really quickly. He got hurt in training camp. Just what does it say about him that he has been able to kind of carve out a role so quickly?
Probably says that not only is he a talented person, but he's the right person for our team and our locker room. Yeah, I'm always when a guy comes in our program, we were able to see enough on film to know from a talent perspective what we were getting. We knew we were getting a talented player, and then you do your background, you do your research, you talk to high school coaches, and you get a feel for what kind of person he is. But until he's in your locker room, you never really know how he's going to assimilate. And I'm always more impressed with a guy like that, a guy like R.J. Dill, a guy like Lou Toller, how they assimilate into the locker room. And I would tell you all 3 of those guys really did a tremendous job.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.